All right, here we go again. To all my YouTube listeners, viewers, and all that, hopefully subscribers. So we're doing another one on real estate investing help. Hopefully this helps you. It's kind of general, but I can get more specific if you contact me or whatever. So we've done the first 4 and 5 was on the last video. This is number 6. And then number 7 is my most controversial, most trouble, most learning process. Almost lost it to my investors because of a contractor. Got me for a lot of money. I had to refinance it twice. My now ex-wife, we were still together then. We knew we were going to split up, but she was on it. So she carried some of the liability. So I asked her to sign on the refinance to pay the investors, the investors off, and then 6 months later, I think it took me a year, I would refinance and take her name off the loan, and I did. So anyway, the one now is 33953 Cornflower Lane, I think, in Lewes. This is the one in what's called Love Creek. That's on the water, going from Millsboro toward Rehoboth toward Lewes. It has a Lewes address, Lewes, Delaware. Bunch of old trailers. Are trying to get them upgraded. That's the one I drove around in. Saw 5 trailers, 5 or 6. Contacted management. Said, hey, you want to make a deal that I will fix them up, spend the money on the material and all that, and then I'll sell it and you'll get the lot rent. You have to agree to sign the title to me upon rehabbing the trailer. I'll sell it and then you get the lot rent. And I ended up not doing the other 4 or 5, whatever there was. I had sold the property, and the guy that bought it was a friend of mine, and he made good money, 55, 60,000 or whatever. But apparently his credit wasn't that great. And they, not the immediate guy I talked to, but higher up. They owned 3 trailer parks. They denied him. And it upset me, and I just said, well, hell with the rest of your trailers, because I'm not going through this. I do all the work, and then them guys, I mean, they're like, well, his credit score is not. You got drug dealers in here. I mean, literally, drug dealers, dealing drugs. So I just said, okay, I've had enough. Now, if I had to do that again, I would have just bit my tongue, lived with it, and continued working and finishing the trailer. So I probably won't be able to go back in there and do that. I mean, we didn't have a bad ending. They just said, yeah, fine. It wasn't ugly, wasn't none of that. I've talked to him since then, the manager, so I try not to burn any bridges, but I just made a bad choice on how I handled it, as far as not continuing the work. So I finished the one, sold it. So that particular one there, I put, so the deal was you have to put an A-frame roof, new windows, new siding, and new skirting. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't plan no A-frame shingled roof. You're talking a few $1,000s. And new windows on top of it. So I said, listen, I don't think I can get my money back out of it. And they said, well, would you do it if we paid for the material for the roof, the lumber, sheathing, the shingles? And I want to say they bought the siding too, but I can't remember. But they bought a good bit. And I know they bought the windows. So basically, I think it was everything on the outside. I did the entire inside. I tore all the floors up. It's a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. I tore up the front bedroom and the kitchen. I didn't tear the floors out. And all the rest of the floors. The living room or the hall had an indented space for a laundry area. Tore that out. The bathroom, the entire floor out of it. And the last bedroom. Or second bedroom and the third bedroom. And got the floors back in, got the vent back in for the ductwork and stuff, and redid it, and put new carpet in it, paint it, and I think I kept the cabinets, but I painted them, and put a new countertop in. And so I bought that particular one there for, $0. I bought it for $0. And, the repair for me was about $2,700, maybe $3,000. I'm pretty sure they spent 4,000. All right, so that doesn't count on my end, but there was 7,000 put in the trailer, and I sold it for 9,000. So even if I had spent all of the money, I would have still got my money back from the repair. Any money I put in, I get back out, and then my profit would have been 2,000. But it ended up being that I only put 2,700 in. So I should have netted $5,300. So that was a pretty good deal for not having anything really in it to begin with. I had repair money. And I've told you this on another video had you watched them. So this was the one I made a deal with a contractor. Said, listen, I'm not going to get paid till I sell it. It was like 1,700, I'm pretty sure, for him. He had the materials were provided by the park. And so he agreed to pay to make an A-frame roof, sheathe it, and shingle it for, 70, 14 by 70. And to shingle it for $1,700. I said, okay. I gave him $1,000 down. And then he waited for the last 700. And then, it didn't sell for a while. I was finished with it. Just didn't sell. Remember, the sale fell through because they wouldn't allow him in the park. And it took a minute, a month or two. And I finally sold it, got paid. First person I called was him. His name's Brian Ney. He's a good man, honest contractor. There's very few of them. Don't try to steal you blind, cheat you, rob you. So he's down to the beach, Ney Construction. And I got to give him a shout out because he does great work. He's a great man. He's honest and has a lot of integrity, and so does his crew. So I have nothing bad to say about Brian Ney. And so he did the work, man. It was a great job. I just had a hard time selling it. And I finally called him and said, Brian, I got your money. And you know what he told me? He said, whew. He said, I actually really thought you were never going to pay me. So he just kind of wrote it off in his head. We kind of agreed on a handshake. And I'm like, no, absolutely not, buddy. My word means something. My name means something. I want my name to be synonymous with honesty and truthfulness and integrity. So my name's worth more than $700. Holy cow. Thousands of dollars. So I said, absolutely not. You're the first call I made. And I called him and I ran that money to his home. And he said, man, thank you very much. He was very grateful because he thought he wasn't going to get his last $700. But anyway, so we did that. And like I said, this would be a deal that I would go into other parks, not only in this town or city, another city. They're everywhere. Every city you have, you know of, has a trailer park somewhere. And if they've been there any length of time, they've got ones that have been run down, they're in disrepair, that you could go in, spend a few $1,000s, which isn't a lot of money for an investment, considering you're going to, on the back end, you're going to get your money back out of the repair. So whatever I put in, when I sold it for $9, I get my repair money back out of it. And then I make a profit on top of it. Okay, so for example, I bought a house in North Carolina for $18,000. I don't know what we did. $18,100. We put, I guess, $8,252 in it, and I'm selling it for $53,000. So I think I make $26,000 in profit. So I'm not going to go into too many details. Other than what I'm telling you is that I get my $18,000 back I put in it, plus my repair money comes off, and then I get the difference in the profit. So I'll talk about that when I get to number 11. So we're on number 6, and I would highly suggest, if you have minimal money, minimal experience, because if all goes bad, all goes wrong, you're only out a couple $1,000s. And I know that sounds like a lot when you're just getting started. It is a lot. But sometimes a $2,000 lesson in experience goes a long, long way. So I learned stuff like that the hard way, and thank God it didn't cost me any more. But I haven't lost any money totally on any project, but all but lost the house that I live in now. I've refinanced it twice. So it took at least $10,000 each time to refinance. I lost $20,000 just in the refinancing. Had investors coming in. I paid them off. Contractor got me. That's another story all in itself, and we'll talk about that. That is actually the next one. Number 7, 37 Comanche. It's the house I'm sitting in right now making this video. So anyway, it's, here's the kitchen. Put all the cabinets in, everything. I forgot to get you the pictures on that other kitchen where it's got a big living room, 2-story, 3 bedrooms upstairs. I rent them. And it's got a vaulted ceiling, cathedral ceiling, whatever you want to call it. Very nice home. Everybody comes in, oh man, this is nice. It is nice. Still a couple things need to be done. There's a couple problems with the electric because it was with the contractor that cheated me and didn't finish stuff. No, all the wires just ran to the box, nothing tied in, no breakers. Plumbing inspection failed their initial. They couldn't even put water in the tubs to drain it because they weren't even hooked up. Nothing under the house hooked up. I didn't know that. I trusted the guy. I learned to never trust anybody and go behind him and check it. But I'm your friend and this and that. Even when red flags were coming up and everybody was telling me he's cheating you, I just couldn't believe in my heart that he was cheating me. And he was like a narcissist. So he would do just enough. Oh no, I'm doing this for you. And I'd get on him and yell and scream at him. And of course, he claims his mother was sick and then she died. And some of that may be so, but not for months and months and months and months. He was trying to get distance between us. And then he would come back after I jumped all over him and do like a half a day's work. I'm at work. I don't know what he's doing. He would start another part. Instead of finishing the 5 things he didn't have finished, he would start something else. And, I need money. And the truth is I gave him a lot of the money, most of the money up front. Because I thought he was a friend and he was doing me a favor and I'm going to do this. And I'm not even going to charge you. I'm going to help you. Whew. Listen, he got me for $16,000 cash that I can prove that he stole, just outright stole. And didn't get the $4,300 heat pump that was train heat pump that was supposed to be delivered. Never came to this property at all. And I could take him to court and have the papers. I have till the end of this month in January. But guess what? I go take time off for work, pay money to do it. They put a judgment on him like the other 4 or 5 judgments on him. He rents a house, he hides assets, whatever, through his wife or wherever. And I'll never see a dime other than be frustrated even more. So unless the judge would order him to pay me and lock him up if he didn't, I could try that. And I may before the end of the month. It's the principle of it. But I would recommend doing trailers if you have just a little bit of money. And then build your money up. Like I said, when you're taking 3, 4, 5,000, it's not tremendous. But listen, when you pile it up one on top of the other and then take that money and put into another one, you have repair money and you do that. Listen, I've used credit cards. I'm not suggesting that's the best way. Where there's high risk, there's high reward. So you just got to make your mind up. Is this what I'm going to do? But talk to somebody, because I'll tell you the risk of that, of not being able to pay it back and you ruin your credit. But for most of us, investors, we have fair credit anyway. Some have bad credit. I've got like 18 inquiries on my credit report because I'm always trying to refinance, finagle money, borrow money. They got to check your credit, and it's just a lot of inquiries, which hurts me very bad. So I need to give it a break for a little bit. After the next one, I get money out of the equity of this house, and we'll talk about that. I've got about $87,000 in equity in my home I'm living in. And that's after 2 refinances. And I've been in it for 3 years. So I ain't going to go through the numbers, but tremendous numbers. For me to have $80,000 in it in 3 years. So started with a lot of equity because it was in such bad shape. I should have just went ahead and tore it to the rest of the way to the ground and rebuilt another one. It would have been much easier. So it's kind of what we did. I had some of the frames standing, but new windows, doors, siding, roof, tore the floors out, then had to tear all the walls out, replumb it, rewire it. And it was like a brand new house. And the good thing is I got to redesign the interior, and I really like the interior and how I enlarged my room. So we're getting ready end here, so we're going to stop on that one. I'll pick up on the next video. So thanks for listening tonight. We'll see you.